everybody, to another podcast with myself and Rob Friedman, Pitching Ninja. Today we got Cincinnati Reds lefty Amir Garrett with us today. How are you, sir?
What's up, man? I'm good. Thanks for having me.
So first question out of the gate. If Amir Garrett was playing Blake Snell in the show, what would the final score be?
I mean, everybody's seen the two times we played. I beat him like 2-1. I don't know. I beat him like by 1, but now I think I probably beat him 5-0. I'm undefeated against Blake right now. So, is
his player any good in the game? Whose player's ranked higher, yours or his?
I mean, I got an 85 one, I got a 99 one, but his is ranked higher because I have my real one is like 68, which is terrible. It's trash.
What a scam!
Not real life. But his guy is nasty.
Yeah, I got to see some of that. Is your velo at least right? I mean, they're not having you throwing like Clevenger was complaining that he was like 93. His velo.
Oh yeah, no, my velo's right, but yeah, I just don't understand like how I'm a 68. But you know, they everybody messes up, and it's all good. I forgive them for that.
Just to learn a little bit about your personality, if you worked in a profession outside of sports, let's just say you were an unathletic man, what would that profession be? What career route would you take?
I'd probably be a comedian or something like that. Some along the lines like, you know, like a Kevin Hart, Mike Epps, something like that. Like, I think I'm a pretty funny guy. If I had no talent at all, that's probably the only thing I could do is just make people laugh and, you know, just joke around a lot.
Who are your favorite comedians? Any old school guys?
Richard Pryor. Hey,
classic.
Dave Chappelle.
Those
guys are hilarious. But Kevin Hart is my dude, man. He is hilarious. He is the funniest person on this earth.
I'm guessing you watched that special that like on Netflix during quarantine. You probably had nothing else to do.
Kevin Hart's Netflix
like didn't they do like a behind the scenes thing, like 6 episodes or something like that with him?
Yeah, they did a little something. They did a little something, you know, to tap into his life and stuff like that. But I only watched like a few shows. I didn't really finish it. I think I might go back and finish it. I have to. I got to.
His stand-ups were way better than his behind-the-scenes show, anyway.
I mean, his behind-the-scenes show, I just think that's just, you know, it was just something to get out. Like, hey, I messed up. And let me show you.
Yeah, it was interesting to see the business side of what he's doing. Was definitely cool. It was totally different to see that side of him.
He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, Rob, go ahead. Ask something that has to do with baseball.
Yeah, baseball. Go ahead.
Yeah, what are you guys going to play anytime, you think?
I hope we do. I really do. Like, I'm losing my mind. I mean, for like the fans' sake, like I want to play for, you know, if the you know, the protocols and stuff like that and the safety issues is like, you know, if it's all figured out, I'm down to play. But I hope we play, man, because it's just so disappointing. Like, you know, we should have played a while ago. You know, hopefully we can come to an agreement. I don't know. But I hope we play here soon in the next month or so.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, I've been looking forward to watching your staff, the whole Red staff pitch with, I mean, Castillo's my man. I mean, he's that's it. You ever worked with him on a changeup?
I tried to work with him on the changeup sometimes. I used to have a really good changeup when I was coming up as a starter, and I was just lost it. I was like, no, I'm not throwing this anymore, and just, you know, just stuff the slider. But no, his changeup is filthy. But when I do throw a changeup, I do throw it like his grip, how he does it.
So pronating through it and all that.
Yeah, I just, you know, I play catch with it. Sometimes it's really dirty. Like, you know, if I'll just be playing catch with it, but when I get in the game, I'm just like, nah, I'm not. I can't do this. I just can't.
I mean, is it hard with your mindset because you're pretty dominant? Like you get in there and you want to blow people away. Your fastball slider. Is the changeup? Is it a mindset thing or a grip thing for you?
It's more so of a grip thing for me because I can't I don't know what I don't know. Maybe how you grab a changeup or whatever. Hold on, let me see. Grab a ball. All right. When you grab like a changeup, like the ball doesn't sit in my hand too well. Like it's just like when I get it and throw it, it like either slips or I either cut it or I just like sell it into the backstop, and it's just like Do I grip it too tight? Do I grip it a little bit looser? And I never have a solution to it. So I was like, it's just like I'm back to square one with trying to throw a changeup every single time.
I'm getting my dog, but she doesn't want to. She wants to stay in here.
Go ahead.
Amir, you got a dog too, right?
I got 2 dogs.
Wait, I saw them on the MLB The Show.
Streaming. Yeah, I got 2 dogs, 2 pit bulls, 2 rescues. One's gonna be 4 and one's gonna be 13. Big gap there.
Yeah, I have a half pit bull here.
Oh yeah, they're awesome, man.
They are. Yeah, totally.
I have a miniature poodle mix.
Hey, it's okay. I want a little multi-poo to bring in the house, but my fiance is like, no way.
No shit.
She likes the big dogs. She likes the big dogs.
We adopted. We didn't know what he was. It figures I ended up with like a miniature poodle.
It's pretty cute, though.
It's all good. Hey, man, they appreciate that. I appreciate you for doing that, too.
No shedding is good. Rob, what was your changeup question?
Oh, no, I was actually going to ask a slider question since you had a baseball there. How do you grip your slider? I mean, that shit's nasty, so I'd love to see your grip on that. I
grip it like this, so I put my middle finger on the inside seam a lot. And, this one, I pronate a little bit the ball, like this. And my thumb is underneath, like on the label. Sometimes I try to get it here, but it just doesn't work. So I just keep it here on this seam. And when I'm throwing it, I don't, I throw it like a curveball. I try to get around it like this. And then my wrist is kind of pronated as well. Like it's just like stuck there. And all I do is just grip it and rip it. I literally just try to throw it as hard as I can. And when I throw it, I'm always thinking down the middle. And, it either drops down or, to a lefty, it sweeps a lot. But, that's my bread and butter, man. And, that's been that pitch is a pitch I go to at any point of the count. It doesn't even matter what it is. I know it. That's going to save me at the end of the day.
Are you trying to spot up your fastball? Or are you just trying to throw that down the middle too?
It's crazy for me because it's like, I tell a lot of people, I don't really know how to pitch. Okay. And we're just gonna call a spade for a spade. I don't know how to pitch. I really don't. I can't spot up whenever I want. You know what I mean? So, and my command's not that good. So we'll just keep it a buck, and I try to throw the ball down the middle. And that's it. That's all I try to do is throw the ball down the middle. But once I think like down the middle, like without even knowing, like self-consciously, like I'll throw the ball inside. Wherever the catcher says I'll throw it there, I'll throw it there. But in my mind, I'm thinking down the middle every single time. But like I said, I'm not that good to dot up at any given point. The slider is the only one that I can really throw it anywhere I want, and I don't know how that works, but it works a little bit.
I saw you had retweeted part of the interview that we did with Clevenger about the velocity and how velo matters, and that was just a couple weeks after we spoke to Leo Mazzoni, who had velocity matters, but that's not all that matters. Where do you stand on that? It seemed like velocity matters a lot.
Oh yeah, it matters a lot because like he said, like if you have a kid that's throwing like let's say like I know a kid like he's throwing like he asked me, he's like he's a senior in high school, it's like, yeah, I throw like 84. I'm like, yeah, like I don't tell him like, but I'm like, yeah, you might want to throw a little bit harder, because to be honest, the scouts, they're not looking for, they're looking for velocity. Like now in the game, like you have a lot more chances. If you throw harder, you have a lot of chances to stick around, and there's not a lot of guys out there that throw 86 and can dot up and miss bats. You know what I mean? Like Hendricks from the Cubs, he misses bats, but he knows how to pitch, and that's what works for him. And he got some amazing changeup, but you don't see too many guys like that, man. Like velocity means a lot. You know what I mean? You can teach somebody how to pitch with velocity as well. You know what I mean? So, like a pitcher like me, I'm becoming into my own. What works for me, I throw hard. I got a great slider. But I think velocity definitely helps a lot, man. And you get to stick around more.
So you had mentioned before, talking to some high school players, kind of a two-part question for you here. What's something that high schoolers don't ask enough of? Like, they always ask the velo question, right? But what are they not asking enough about? And then can you talk a little bit about your road through that age? Because when I read about you, you know, you didn't even know if you wanted to play much longer at that age. And you had an interesting route to where you are. So kind of a two-part question for you.
My main thing for high school kids, I always preach, playing multiple sports. I just help you. It helps you be more athletic. It helps you, be more agile. It just helps you. It helps you a lot in baseball. I feel like a lot of guys are just one dimensional. And that's not what I like to preach. But some guys can do it as well. There's a lot of great baseball players in the world that just play baseball. But people are always asking about the velo thing. That's a really hard question. Is because it's like, for me, I don't know how to increase velo. My velo just like literally was like there like all the time. And, I was just blessed with that ability. So I don't really know how to answer that, but I would feel players should ask more, how do I get better? Like not velo questions, like how do I get better as a player? I would tell them like study other players, study who you like, who do you want to be? Who do you see yourself being as a baseball player? Because I feel like kids nowadays they don't do their their homework and stuff like that, because I never did, and I'm gonna keep it real, I never did. But everybody's different. But I would ask that question: how do I get better? How do I get to where I want to go? And I feel like that's a big question. All the kids are worried about velo. No, don't worry about that. That will come. But just getting better. Just being hungry to play the game. Being hungry for knowledge. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a big part. And everybody knows
on how you kind of got there.
Oh, for me, how I kind of got there, it's just like I was literally going with the flow, man. I was literally going with the flow, just enjoying myself, playing basketball, not enjoying myself playing baseball. I can tell you that, because I really wasn't enjoying baseball at all.
What didn't you like about baseball?
I wasn't. So there was a time where I was really good when I was younger. I played with Bryce Harper and Nick King, Joey Galloway, all these guys in Vegas. I played with them, and I was always just really, really good. That's it. That's all. I was just really good, and I just threw really hard. And I used to play first base, and now I used to play outfield. And I was not to my own horn. I was really good when I was younger. But once I started playing basketball, man, basketball is so fun. So up and down. You get fast results. You can go anywhere. You can go shoot a ball at any time. You know what I mean? And it's like, I can't pick up if I just threw 7 innings, I'm not going to pick up a baseball again and just like continue to throw. And I'm like, no, I don't like that. Like, it's not fun to me. But, my journey was a lot less traveled than a lot of people. And a lot of people wouldn't be able to do it because it was so hard. And like, now that I look back at it, I was like, dang, how did I do that? Like, it was so crazy because I was never getting better. Like, I was never able to reach my full potential in either sport, like at a peak time for me. It was like, I'm still learning right now. I'm 28 years old, and I don't know a lot of stuff about baseball. Like I said, I'm just a thrower, and it's like I'm becoming, slowly becoming a pitcher. But it's like that time I was going back and forth, I could have been way further along in my career than where I'm at now. But the great thing about that is, how they say, like, I don't have a lot of mileage on my arm. So, that outweighs it, not being where I want to be right now at 28 years old.
So how did you get kind of through that time? Because you did bounce around a little bit, and you went to academy baseball for a little while, correct?
Academy baseball.
It was a junior college first. I'm trying to remember what I read. I can go back.
No, so I was in high school. I got drafted right out of high school. and I didn't go to junior college. I went to St. John's and played basketball.
What was Brighton Academy? I thought you ended up there.
Oh, Bridgeton Academy. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I had some stuff with the NCAA. I didn't get to go to college on time, so I had to go there for a semester. And I didn't play no baseball there. I was just, by that time I already got drafted, and I was going there to, get a credit for a class and stuff like that. And I was playing basketball there, and yeah, but that was just a little pit stop for me.
Okay, gotcha. I'll delete that part of this.
No, it's all good. It's Bridgeton Academy. It was.
I've seen it online and on Twitter a bunch, but I don't quite understand. Is it kind of like a gap year program for kids?
No, okay, so it's a prep school. It's an all boys school. They have sports. They have hockey. They have basketball. They have soccer. They have all the sports there. And it's like, I was going there for the class. There's a lot of guys going there because they didn't have maybe a scholarship out of high school or whatever. They had low D1 or JUCO offers, and they wanted to go somewhere and basically get the extra year so they can hopefully get a chance at going to a Division I school. But I was solely going there because I needed a credit that I didn't have in high school. When the NCAA really did a number on me, but that's a story for another day. Those guys are criminal out there.
Well, it's no different now if you're paying attention to this.
Oh, yeah, for sure it's no different. Same thing.
I got a question for you, then let Rob go back to the pitching stuff. You mentioned baseball being fun. That's one of the biggest issues that Major League Baseball is battling today when they are playing. Like right now, it's obviously not fun. But when they are playing, we're talking about how do we speed the game up? How do we make it more enjoyable for the fans so we don't lose that younger generation? First of all, do you think it's boring to watch a baseball game when you're not pitching, if it's, your midsummer Wednesday 2:00 game? And what would you do to make the game more fun and make the game more engaging for fans?
Baseball is 110% boring. Okay. But it's a kind of a boring that you love it though. You love that it's boring. I talk to people and they're like, man, yeah, baseball's slow, but I'm just a baseball fan. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? And it's I'm not going to go to a baseball game at the end of the season. I've been playing baseball all year, but it's something I love to do. I think MLB could do a way better job of, showing that it is fun, because it's really fun when you get out there and play. You know what I mean? And I think that, a player like me, I'm around baseball, I'm around basketball, and it's I have a lot of basketball players being like, bro, I only watch baseball now because of you. People are like, I have the app on my phone, and that's when I'll watch baseball because I am waiting to see what you're going to do. And, I just, everybody knows me. Like I said, I'm a jokester. I like to have fun. When I'm having fun, I'm at my best. I don't take it too seriously, man, because at the end of the day, this is a game that we play. And I look at it like this, man. We're entertainers, man. We're entertainers as well. So I try to mix the fun aspect in the game as well. Everybody knows me. I got little antics that I do. But it's all fun, man. And it's something I do because I get out there and it's I've tried the route where I'm stone wall. You know what I mean? Don't talk to me. I can't play like that. I suck when I play like that. You know what I mean? But when I get out there and I'm just like a kid, it's just there's no better feeling. There's no better feeling. And that's just for me, man. I treat this game, because I've been playing it since I was knee high. I just like to have as much fun as I can.
So your granddad was an influence on you growing up? Tell me a little bit about that.
My grandfather, he's the one that taught me baseball, man. I was around baseball at a young age. My grandfather was I think he was the grounds crew or a clubby for the High Desert Mavericks back in the day. I don't really remember too much but I was always around the field. I was always, I was somewhere in the High Desert Mavericks stadium, somewhere. It could have been right field line, it could have been center field. I was always somewhere. And, he put the ball in my hands, man, and he was a left-handed. My grandfather, he was paralyzed, so that's the only guy I ever seen that can be in a wheelchair, catching the ball for me, anywhere. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, like he loved the game that much. Like he would get out there with me and, you know, he'd be moving in the wheelchair, catching the ball. I'm like, dang, grandpa, like this is sick. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, he had the biggest impact on me. I remember when I was young, man, and it's so crazy. I don't think anybody does this drill anymore. And it's like, I have me and my little brother, and my little brother, he's not a baseball player. He's 3 years younger than me, and he's like, nah, I don't like baseball. But we had to put our hands behind our back, and my grandfather was literally like 2 feet away, just like, you know, just tossing the ball at your chest, saying like, hey, it doesn't hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting there just like this, okay, cool, all right, grandpa, on to the next drill. Like, this drill sucks. Like, I'm done. Or throw the ball harder. And my little brother is just, my grandpa was just flicking up at him. He's like, and I'm like, man, relax, bro. He's not even throwing the ball hard. Like, relax. It's not gonna hurt you. He's like, man, I don't want to play baseball no more, grandpa. Bro, but it's just so funny. Yeah, my grandfather taught me the game, man. He's passed away now. Rest in peace. But yeah, he was another reason why it was so crazy, because I stopped playing baseball, because when he passed away, like I couldn't. I don't know. I every time I would step on a baseball field, like I would always think about my grandfather, and I was like, nah, I don't want this feeling, because it saddened me so much. And then, you know, I just eventually came around to it. My dad was like, son, I need you to throw this ball. You know what I'm saying? Just throw it around. Like, you know, your grandfather would want you to do it. I want you to do it and stuff like that. And I realized, like, it wasn't until like 2014 where I realized, I was like, man, like I love this game again. And my grandfather would want me to play. Like he would want me to be the best I can be. And even though he's gone, like he wants me to be happy playing the game. And it's like I said, it wasn't until 2014 where I like really started liking baseball. And it's so funny because I used to live in Arizona with him, because he lived in Arizona. I used to go and visit him every summer. And it's almost like it was destined to be, because the complex, spring training complex was being built, and my grandfather's house was down the street from that. And he was like, yeah, this is where the Reds going to be at. This is where the Indians going to be at, and blah, blah, blah. We're going to go to so many games and all that. And in 2011, I get drafted to the Reds, and the complex is right there. And I was like next to the house that he had. And I was like, dang, this was meant to be, man. This really was meant to be. So it's kind of like, you know, it was kind of a crazy story, but, you know, it was a journey that I would do the same thing if I had the chance again.
That's awesome. So your granddad passed the game down. What role do you think you have on passing the game down? You're playing with guys on your team. Trevor Bauer's pretty big, vocal online. Sonny Gray even been doing some interviews. How important is personality? What role do you think you have in influencing the next generation of fans to make the game not boring for fans?
Oh, personality is important. But then again, like there's guys that they didn't grow up, you know, like that in the game. Like they grew up in the old school ways or whatever like that. And that's totally fine. But for somebody like me that's very active on social media, like, you know, like to have fun, like in the game, that's just how I am. And you know what I mean? I want to pass that to the younger generation, because I want people to enjoy baseball, like generally enjoy it. Like I really want people to come to, like, hey, let's go to a baseball game. Let's have some fun. Like, because baseball is fun, man. And I know a lot of guys like look up to me, a lot of younger guys in the minor leagues. It's like, bro, like your mindset, like everything, like teach me. And I'm just like, man, just be you. Like, don't be scared to show your personality. And I feel like baseball players are scared to show their personality. Like they're scared to speak up. You know what I mean? They're scared to be themselves. And, you know, everybody always asks me, I'm like, be you, bro. Just be you. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? You're a rookie. You come up, you be you. Just don't be disrespectful. You know what I mean? You have older guys in there, you know, that been around for a long time, and you should have a feel for, you know, for those veteran guys. But, you know, just be you. Just be happy. You know, don't worry. Be happy, like Bob Marley says.
So I saw you're a fan of the Octagon. If you could pick one opponent in the MLB to go in the Octagon with, who would it be?
My opponent would be, I I mean, you can pick whoever you want. You can pick the biggest guy. I'll take him on. But my person would have to be Trevor Williams if he's in my same weight class. Probably not, because he's a baby. But yeah, probably it'd be him for sure.
What would be your signature move in the octagon?
My signature move? I don't know, man. I'm pretty nice with my hands, man. Like, for real, I'm pretty nice with my hands. But I put a few people in a sleeper hold. I think I'm pretty strong there. I think I probably put them in a sleeper hold.
Who are some of the guys in the league that you look at and you're like, that's a fun guy to watch? I'm a fan of that guy.
I mean, Javier Baez, but I know him. He's a fun guy to watch. Francisco Lindor, really fun guy to watch. Like Mike Trout, of course. Like, these guys are Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger, Christian Yelich. These guys are like, watching them is like, dang. Like, you're like a kid again. Like, when you watch these guys play, you're just like, wow, these guys are good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm never gonna say that to their face, but those guys are good. I enjoy watching them play, man, because I'm just like, what's gonna happen today? You know what I mean? Something cool is gonna happen. Mookie Betts, something's cool gonna happen when you watch those guys play.
What's my man Derek Dietrich like? I mean, I got to know him a little bit growing up. He was like my kid's mentor at Georgia Tech, and he's kind of a freak. So what do you hang out with him, right?
Dietrich, yeah, he's supposed to be coming out here pretty soon, I think. He said he called me. He's like, "Hey, man, yeah, I'm coming out there." But Derek Dietrich is a funny guy, man. Like, he's really like, Dietrich loves some Dietrich, and I mean, I love me some me, but he loves him some him, and it's okay. That's what I said about being you. You know what I mean? And he's a great guy. He's all that muscles for sure, for show, because he's a really, really nice guy. He wouldn't hurt a fly. So if you guys ever see, like, yeah, Dietrich's big, like, he's never gonna do anything. So don't even worry about it. But I love Dietrich, man. I can't wait to see him. And I called him the other day actually on FaceTime, and I was like, man, look at this. I was like, I didn't know I faced you. I was like, in 2018, I faced you, and I was like, oh, this was probably the easiest at bat I've ever had in my life. Just struck you out on 3 pitches right away. Smell ya.
I can't imagine him trying to hit you, actually. That would be that's a tough AB for him, I would think.
I mean, I only got him one time. So if he got some more ABs against me, he probably would, like, roll over or something. But I'm glad I only got to face him one time, because if he did that, the Michael Jordan shrug to me, I'd be like, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, you got to tell him that we talk, because he knows. I mean, we used to hang out all the time at Tech back in the day. So I got to see him in the minors too. Good dude.
Go ahead, Rob. Oh, no, now you muted yourself to talk.
Yeah.
I like it better when you're muted. Go ahead.
Go fuck yourself. So you say you don't have any idea, like, where your velo comes from. What do you actually, is there anything you're thinking when you're trying to throw hard? Is it your body being in sync? Is it moving fast? Or is it just really you have no idea?
I mean, obviously, like, when things align, it's better for you. But I'm not thinking that in my head, man. I'm really not. Like, I'm thinking, like, throw this ball hard. And sometimes I can feel myself, though. Like, if I look up, like, if I try to throw the ball hard, because I look at the radar gun every time I throw a fastball. So I look, and if I throw the ball, sometimes there'll be times where I'm like, yeah, let it go, and it's like 95, and I'm like, whoa, like, what the heck? And then I'll go back and I'll throw one in like 99. I'm like, okay, well, I felt that, like, a little bit. I felt like, everything was aligned and I was on time, but it's just, for me, like, getting that timing together, it's kind of hard because I'm so tall. I have limbs everywhere. Like, man, like, you know what I mean? But there's those times where I realize, like, oh, that felt good. But I just got to find the timing for me to do that every single time.
So when you don't feel good, I want to ask you this question. I think kids look at professionals and think you're like robots and you're always feeling good, right? But when you go and you have one of those days where you go down for a pregame pen and you're just not feeling anything, and you're not feeling great, and you get out there in the first inning and you walk a couple guys, you give up a hit or something, it's just, you're not getting a feel for it early in the game. What's your mindset, or how do you what do you do mentally or physically to fix that and get on track so that you're not done in 2 innings?
See, that's the part about baseball that sucks. When things aren't going good, you got to find a way to get the best outcome you can. If I'm not feeling good, if I walk a couple guys, I'm like, dang, all right, well, now they got the 3 batter rule, so I'll just take you through it. Like, if I walked a couple guys too, I'm like, dang, well, I have to be in here for at least one more guy. You know what I mean? And at this point, if I've walked a few or whatever, my control's all over the place, I'm going with my best pitch, and that's my slider. I'm looking for a double play. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you don't have the overpowering stuff that you had that day, you just literally have to find a way to limit the damage. You know what I mean? Because there's gonna be those days where you got nothing. You got nothing. You have nothing in the tank. Your body's feeling like crap. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to find a way to get it. And that's the difference from being a big league player, big league pitcher, and minor league or whatever. That's what they expect when you're at the highest level, is for you to get out of those situations. You know what I mean? And it's like, you just got to find a way to do what you got to do, man. If you're a strikeout pitcher and you can't, and they're not seeing that stuff that day, you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to throw as hard as I can in the zone to get the guy to roll over, or do something, because I desperately need a ground ball.
What about mentally? What about
mentally?
After a rough first inning, you go and you sit down in the dugout. Like, what are you thinking to get yourself on track?
So when I was a starter and that would happen, I'd just be like, man, a lot of game left. You know what I mean? So, if you have those first inning bad luck, let's say you give up 3 runs. Well, guess what? You still got 6 more innings to turn into a quality start. You can go 7 innings, 3 runs. That's quality right there. You know what I mean? You just got to keep the team in the game. And mentally, I'm just saying, like, all right, brush that one off, take a deep breath, get some water or whatever, and let's go back out and restart no matter what the score is.
Do you have any things you go through in your mind? Are you just sitting there going, I'm going to shove this ball down your throat? Are you trying to dominate the hitter? Are you is there a reset that you have on the mound? Or you're just trying to block everything out and throw?
My thing is, when I go in there, I'm trying to dominate the hitters. Like, in my mind, I'm like, all right, strikeout. I need a strikeout every time. Strikeout. That's my mindset, right? Strikeout every single time. But that's just me. A reset for me, I'll take a few deep breaths. If something's not going my way, a few deep breaths, I'll talk to myself, like, come on, Amir, like, come on, AG. I have an alter ego. It's AG is me on the mountain. That's not, I'm Amir, AG's on the mountain. So, I'll talk to myself, come on, AG, let's do this. Like, this guy isn't better than you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need that pep talk, man. You need it. And who better else to give it to you than yourself? And you know what I mean? You just got to tell yourself to bear down and let's go get this hitter, man. If not, then it's going to be a terrible day for you.
So what's your next step in progression? I know even in the show you were giving yourself shit about not throwing strikes. Like, come on, AG, just like in real life, you can't throw the ball over the plate.
But, I mean, the progression is like we've been working on the spin rate on my fastball. Because my spin on my fastball is really low.
How are you working on that? So what are you doing?
I got some they're in the living room. I got some beignet balls that I like. Those things that you do for, like, you just roll them. Those 2 balls that you put in your hand and you roll them. It's basically just to get like just the feel, of letting the ball go off your fingers. And my pitching coach, DJ brought this to my attention. He's like, Amir, like, when I give you a baseball, like, a lot of people, like Sonny Gray, like a lot of these guys, when I give them the ball, Trevor Bauer, Castillo, like, they always, like, flip the ball up. Like, you know what I mean? They're always, like, playing with the ball and getting a feel. He's like, what I notice about you, if I give you the ball, you just grab it. Like, he's like, you're just like, all right, thank you. Like, I'm not playing with the ball. He says, I never see you play with the ball, like, spin it and stuff like that. And he's like, I want you to start doing stuff like that. There ain't a chance you get, spin the ball and stuff like that. And I noticed that, like, when I'm throwing the baseball, like, my 4 seams here, my hands were here. My hands were there. And every time I would throw the ball, the ball would be back here, so my hands would be on no seam. For some reason, the ball would roll back into my fingers, so there'd be no seam. I would literally be throwing with no seam. And my fastball never had any true fastball spin. So it was like going, like, that's why, you know, it was cutting and everything and like going everywhere. And I'm like, dang, what is going on? So, you know, all we did is bring my fingers together a little bit more, loosen the ball up a little bit. I know in spring training, like my fastball true spin was like at 98%. And it was like at like 60 something percent, like before that, you know what I mean? But we just been working on stuff, you know, just getting that feel and stuff like that. And, you know, it's crazy, like the stuff they do. It's got me just stretching my, you know what I mean? It's like just getting a feel for things. That's like, it's working. It's working. And it's crazy how that when you're just like, that's not going to work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you get the ball to spin more? But all these little extra things that they have, like, you don't think that it works, but it really does. So that's the biggest thing I was working on, you know, my fastball spin, because my fastball can be 99, but since the spin is so slow, like they can pick up on it, you know what I mean? And now, you know, like a lot of guys pitch up in the zone. I'm trying to, and that's because they have that fast backspin. They can throw up there, and like guys are like, dang, that was 110 miles an hour. With mine, it's like, no, it's fast, but the ball's spinning slow, so they can see it and pick up on it faster.
Yeah, I saw Pedro said, and Pedro's like double jointed on his fingers, so he had that high spin rate, and he'd say just let the ball come off his fingers and kind of spin off it. Which,
I mean, it's tough. It's easier said than done, because it's kind of hard. You know what I mean? Like there'll be times where I'll be trying to, like, I'll just play catch with it, and I'll just be like, all right, let's try to spin through this ball, and then it's like straight in the dirt or something like that, or like way in the air. But you know, you just got to get used to doing it. You got to just keep messing with the ball and just keep playing with it.
So
well, Pedro's fingers were like 11 inches long also.
Oh yeah. I mean,
mine aren't that long for as big as I am. Guy. Like my hands aren't really that big.
Came to a school I used to teach at, talked to the kids on the baseball team. He said the only reason I was good at baseball, and he held up his hand, and all the kids were like, damn, that's a weird ass hand. And he was like, this is how I was good.
DJ is a great pitching coach. I mean, one of the best guys out there. How important are the things that you're doing? Not only those cues, but the kind of the advanced metrics, looking at spin rate, and even the slow-mo cameras you got, the Edgertronic stuff, trying to see the ball coming off. Are you using that a lot?
Yeah, that's how we found out like the ball, like I'm not throwing on any seams, you know, because that stuff, when you have all that, like you can take a deeper look into like what you're doing wrong and stuff like that. I'm not a big guy into like all the TrackMan and stuff like that. I mean, for pitch recognition and all that, I think it's very, you know, valuable, and, you know, pitch design and stuff like that. Like that definitely helped, because like I said, I was going there and like, I remember one time in the spring, once we were making progress and we were starting to get in the swing of things, it's like I was throwing at 60%. My spin rate was like at 2,400. And I'm like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? It was really good. Like, I was like, my spin rate's never been like that. But all that stuff, that technology is awesome to have around, man, because like literally right there, you get those fast results. You're like, okay, what was that? How fast, how much spin did that have on it? Like right away, within seconds, you can relay that. And it's like, okay, well, you know, in the bullpen, you're just like looking, you're like, all right, cool. And that's how you can really get your work in, though. You know what I mean? Opposed to, you know, just getting up there throwing and getting help from the pitching coach. But you have all this technology now. It's like, all right, that's awesome. Like, let's work. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this. So we've talked to some of the old school versus the new school pitching coaches at the college and the pro level. And the old school guys will say, you don't need to tell me spin rate. I can stand behind you, see the ball break, and I know that's a good breaking ball, or I know that, you know, we got to have that feel. Like you kind of mentioned the instant feedback that technology gives you, but is there anything else that you feel like, hey, these old school guys, you don't understand as a pitcher, this is where it helps me, which would have never been possible before?
I mean, it's just preference, man. I think it's just preference. I think if, you know, they just didn't have it back in the day. So it's, you know, they're against it, and that's not a problem. You know what I mean? But I think if those guys did have it back then, a lot of careers would have went different. Like even the kind of pitchers that they were, they probably would have been even better. But we never know, man. This is all preference, man. And like I said, I don't use it too much, but you know what I mean. As I'm starting to learn about it, I'm like, okay, that's pretty beneficial for me. You know, I'll take little things that I see, and I'll use them, or you know, and they're just there for me if I want to go take a look. You know what I mean? It's there. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt.
I'm sorry. Are there any of those old school pitching coaches or pitchers that you've learned from just watching video or reading or anything like that? Some of the guys that you in history that you've looked back on and you take things from them?
Yeah.
Not really.
not really. But the only like pitching coach that was back in the day that really helped me in my career that I would like, you know, I owe him a life is Tony Fawcett. You know what I mean? And it's just like, he's definitely an old school guy. He's like, man, this stuff doesn't matter, like blah, blah, blah. Really good dude. But at the end of the day, it's just like, you need to get somebody out. If you want to be here for 10 years, you got to get people out. And I'm like, all right, that's enough for me. Like, that's all you got to tell me. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you don't do this, you're gone. If you do this, you'll stay here for a little bit. I'm like, all right, well, that's fine. I got you.
I got one more question, Rob. How can video games help you guys be better? Because I know they can.
I mean, I know Giolito said that he used to, before his starts, he used to go and play as himself, and he would like, you know, just.
I love it. You're watching our podcast. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he'll look and he'll be like, man, like he would say like he would go in there, pictures of himself, and like just like read the scouting report and stuff like that. But you know, I played the video games, and I'm like, all right, I know this guy can't hit this pitch. You know, just because you pitched against them before, and I'm like, man, that's pretty sick. But I think I'm gonna start doing like a Gio does. I'm gonna try to play like before the game and see if the scouting report is true.
Did you play alongside Chapman at all? You guys overlap?
No, I didn't. My first year in big league camp was when he got traded. So it was in spring. And then he also got hit in the head, so it was in spring, and I was in Daytona. But that's a big dude, man. That's a big dude.
I was wondering if you take anything from the way he throws, because he sits there and he's just going to shove the ball down your throat.
Yeah, I've tried like his delivery, you know, staying close and like the torque that he has, but I just can't do it. Yeah, it's just God given. Like you just can't do it. You can't like him. Jordan Hicks, like those guys are just God-given. Like you just nothing helped them. They just God said, "Here you go and throw the ball."
Would you say you would? Those guys have got to be fun to watch, even as a guy that throws as hard as you do. Watching Hicks and watching Chapman out there, will you turn on a game to watch those guys throw, or go look at?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, I watch like when Hicks comes to the game against us, like. I watch him throw, and I'm like, how is his two-seam moving like this? Like, it makes zero sense for the ball to move. Like, it's almost criminal that his ball is moving that much at that speed. It's like, there's no way. You know, that's like I'm saying. Like, that's God-given. You can't teach that. You know what I mean? And he broke into the league at a young age. You know why? Because he threw hard. You couldn't say no to him. You couldn't. To his abilities, you can't say no to that. You know what I mean? And he's only going to get better, though. That's the scary part.
How do you be a good teammate during a game as a pitcher? Because we always look at it and the pitchers are left alone, you know, and we talk about supporting them. But for kids, like what can you do as a pitcher to be a good teammate during a game that you're on the hill for?
Oh, you just stay locked in. You know what I mean? Give words of encouragement no matter what they're going through. You know, for me, I'm in the bullpen. You know, I'm always screaming out there, "Let's go, baby!" You know what I'm saying? Like just words of encouragement, like you know, just to let your teammate know that you're out there for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I just feel like a lot of times pitchers, especially at the high school level, like they see on TV, like, okay, I'm pitching. Let me go in the corner of the dugout and not talk to anybody the whole game and be disconnected and be in my own zone. And I feel like you know that's maybe not what you should be doing. You're the leader out there. You're the guy with the ball in your hand. What can you do to bring your teammates up, if that makes any sense?
Well, as a starter, you know, your job is to focus on pitching. You know, so there's a lot of guys that do that. They'll go and sit in there, you know what I mean? But that's their job. That day, like, they got to be focused. As a starter, like, they're sitting down, you know, they got to go 7, 8, you know, hopefully 9. They got to lock in, man. They got to lock in. That's your leader. He's leading you. You know, you leave him alone if he wants to be left alone. But there's guys, you know what I mean? Like, if you have a big hit, you know, score early, you know, the pitchers are in there. The starters are in there. They're in there cheering their team on 110%, you know, but it's different level of baseball. You know what I mean? From high school where you can be doing all that and stuff, like, you know, cheering your team on. It's a different level. But, you know, like me, if I go out and pitch, I'll still be in there. You know, I'll stay another inning, you know, and talk some mess and hang out with guys and, you know, cheer on my team and even talk mess to the first baseman from the other team. And then after that, I'll go inside.
Take me back to the Schwarber when you ran off the field incident. Like, you're not really worried about him, are you?
Oh, heck no. No. What? It was so funny because, like, I've been struggling. And, you know, like me, I'll call it how it is all the time. I was struggling at the time. I'm like, damn, I can't get nobody out. You know what I'm saying? And so Skip did a good job, put me in a situation. It's 2 outs, you know, tie game in the 9th. So I've had a lot of success against Schwarber. And it's like, all right, you know, I get 2 strikes on him right away, throw 1 away. And then, you know, I'm like, oh, well, he's dead. It's over for him. You know, throw a slider where he had no shot of even touching it. But, you know, I understand whatever he did. You know, I got hype, you know, yeah. And when I do stuff, it's not to showboat anybody up. And if I do, you'll know. You'll know because I'm not scared to hide it. You'll know if I am, like, mad and saying something to you because I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, talk mess. And I'm going to tell you, like, F you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to tell you, like, straight up. But I was like, yeah, like, yes, I got it out. Like, yeah, my Skip didn't give up on me. Like, yes, we're doing this. And I don't know why this guy just comes up and he's like, F you, get back to the dugout. And I'm just like, my first reaction, I heard him at first, and I looked over, and my first reaction was like, you really want the smoke? Like, I'll give it to you. And then I was like, nah. I was like, you're trying to get me in trouble again. No, I'm out of here, bro. Like, nah. And you know what I mean? And I just ran back to the dugout. I'm like, okay, sorry. You got it, man. You got it. Big, tough guy. I'm scared of you. And then the funny thing is Coach took him out. That's what it was hilarious. He got taken out the game after that, too. So he got embarrassed twice. It was hilarious. But, you know, I know Schwarber's a good guy. He was just frustrated, you know, because he couldn't get a hit off me again. But or he struck out again. But he was just frustrated, man. And I understand that, you know, because it is what it is. I was frustrated too, but I was just happy that, you know, I finally gotten out.
Yeah, that was one of 3 legendary things. The other was being helped off the field, and then you took off and ran to the dugout. And then, of course, the Pirates one was, of course, too. So take us through those 2. I mean, what were you thinking? You had that set up.
I didn't want to ask, but I really did want to ask.
It's so funny because, like I said, we're entertainers, right? We're entertainers. So I got hit with the ball. Jeff McNeil hit a screaming ground ball back at me, just cracked me in the leg. And I'm like, damn, this hurts. Like, you know what I mean? And then when they came out there, Skip was like, Amir, I was coming to get you anyway. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I was acting like, you know what I mean? Like limping off. And then I just took off running. I don't know. Some of the stuff I do, I'm just like, why did I do that? But, you know, I just took off running. You know, the crowd loved it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't have did that if, you know, I didn't fake it to come out the game if anybody is like, you know, thinking that. I was already coming out the game. So I was like, all right, let me just make something fun. You know what I mean? And that was that one. And without going into too many of the details of the Pirates one, you know, because I don't want to condone that. You know, the guys we were down. They've been throwing at a lot of our guys. And, you know, I came in the game and I was actually kind of, you know, I wasn't mad that I was coming in the game. I was just like, I don't know. I was like, I didn't get to warm up and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why am I in here? Like, you know what I mean? So, a guy gets on, a guy hits a home run, which I'm not mad at because that happens, right? Yes, home runs happen. But I get a ground ball and I tag one of the players. He doesn't mind it because he's running. It's a routine ground ball, but he's just like speeding up first base, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I tag him, and I hear some chirping, from the first base side. I mean, from their dugout, and they're like, yeah, blah blah blah, tag the base, don't tag him, like blah blah blah. You're so good, you just got a home run hit off you. You B word, bleep 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 bleep, and I'm like, whoa. Hold on, what is going on, bruh? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, why are you guys coming at me like this? And, it's crazy because if the guy that was running up the baseline had a problem with it, he probably would have told me, but, he didn't have a problem with it. So, it's a different thing. And it's like when I got up on the mound, and it's like my pitching coach coming to get me, and they're like, somebody called me a B word, and I'm like, all right, that's the last B word I'm going to be today. I'm going to show you a B word. So, I just did my thing, got my point across. Hopefully we'll never have to do that again. I feel like I did what a lot of people wanted to do, a lot of teams wanted to do, and, I got my point across, and we're all good.
So these types of things, which we find very entertaining, the casual fan, maybe outside of the local, Reds fan, they're going to develop this perception of who you are, right, based off of certain incidents. So in the saying is perception's reality, but in reality, that's not true, right? So what is, who are you? What is the real personality? What is the misperception about you, maybe that's out there that you would like changed?
A lot of people think like I'm full of myself, and that's okay. I'm a very confident person. I love joking around. And I know a lot of people don't like the way I play the game, but who cares? Like, a lot of people have opinions, but I don't really mind it. But like I'm a fun, loving guy, man. But if you make me mad, it's over. That's why I don't like to get mad too much. You know what I mean? Because I don't like, I joke around, but I don't joke around, like, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to serious stuff, like, I don't play any games. Like, I don't do the fake tough guy. It's like, all right, I don't wait for nobody to hold me back. And it's like, nah, I'm gonna go get you. If I want you, I'm gonna get you. Nobody's gonna hold me back for nothing. So, just be careful. Choose your words wisely. That's the kind of person I am. But I'm a fun-loving guy, though. I like to joke around and play games and stuff like that.
So I made it to AA ball, actually.
Really?
Oh yeah, as a jock washer. I was a glove.
I'm sorry, it's not fair.
So yeah, I realized baseball wasn't for me when I was washing grown men's underwear. I was like, yeah, I don't think this is going to be my thing. But I did realize something about personalities at that point that you kind of just mentioned. I'm a confident person, right? I think a lot of times look at professional athletes and be like, oh, he's cocky, whatever. And I realized, like, there's this difference between being cocky and being confident. And to be a professional athlete, you have to be super confident. Like, do you ever see professional athletes that don't carry that high level of confidence?
I mean, a lot of guys are confident. A lot of guys might not state it and be like, oh, I'm just so humble. But like, me being around people, like, I know it's like, all right, that's not you. You know what I mean? Just be you at all times. It's like, you know what I mean? Because you have to have that confidence, man, because I'm telling you, it's like hitters can pick it up and pitchers can pick it up. If I'm not confident in myself, a lot of guys can see that and they pick up on it, and it's like, dang, like, we got Amir today. We got him. You know what I mean? And it's that kind of, like, when I kind of came up as a rookie, it's like, all right, I noticed, like, I would have a good start because I started out hot in the big leagues. I had a good start, and I'm like, okay, let me just sit back and just be humble and be modest, and like, yeah, man, like, I had a great guy, like a guy get a hit. Oh yeah, he put a good swing on it, or if I struck out 12 against the Orioles, and my response was like, yeah, I was just getting lucky today. No, that's not it. My stuff was filthy today. I struck out 12 people. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, when I was a little timid like that, and after a while, it was just like, it started just turning, like, and everybody just started teeing off of me, and I was like, dang, like, I just lost all confidence I had in me, and like that modest personality I had. I was like, F that, bro. Like, this is me. This is me, a confident individual. This is what's gonna keep me around for a lot of years. You know what I mean? And that's just my personality, though. You know, everybody that knows me, that grew up with me, they'll say like, that's just how Amir is, man. Like, Amir is a little kid, an immature kid, still at 28 years old, confident, immature kid that plays around a lot. So,
do you feel like sometimes the game bakes out some of the confidence from people, by the way? Like coaches, they want you to be humble. You know, the press guys are saying be humble. Do you think that that is detrimental to a lot of players and maybe makes them into less effective?
I mean, it's just, I don't know. Everybody has their own mindset. You know what I mean? It's how you take it. For somebody's like, be humble. You can be like, all right, cool. Well, whatever, I'm still going to do me, you know, because that's happened to me before. It's like, all right, be humble. All right, I am humble, but it's just like, I'm still confident. You can be humble and be confident. You know what I mean? Like you can talk about yourself and still be humble. You know, from where I came from, I come from, you know what I mean, from nothing. I'm still, you know, I still go back to where I'm from. It's like people be like, be humble. I'm like, bro, I am. I'm just confident. I need to be confident. I need to be the person I am to be where I'm at. I cannot not be confident. I don't know any other way, man. I don't. I really don't. But you know, it's all about preference, like I said, because it's how you take what people say and how you take it yourself, and you know, it's how you use it.
Yes. Speaking of coming from nothing, what we see in travel ball today are people, it's almost like the richer you are, the more advantages you have. And there are a lot of people that don't want to play baseball because they get priced out of it. Do you feel, I mean, how did you get around that? I know you played multiple sports. Do you see that that is a problem in growing the game? Should there be more accessibility for players?
Yeah, there definitely should, because you know, I feel like AAU, like travel ball, like it's very expensive. But for me, like I know when I was younger, a lot of parents would be upset, like, oh, why does he get to like travel, like blah 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 for free? Because I didn't have nothing, and if you wanted me to play, like I was gonna have to get around places. Like my parents didn't have nothing, and if you wanted me on the team, like it was like, all right, well, I don't have to be on your team. I can just play Little League Baseball, and I'm totally okay with that. Like you guys want me on your team, and it's like the parents are like, why does this guy get this and that? It's like, sorry, it's like I don't know what to tell you. It's not my fault that they're charging $1,000 to go to 30 miles down the road. No, it shouldn't be like that, and it should be more accessible. Like, you know what I mean? There should be stuff for kids, and you know what I mean, to be able to play baseball and to be able to play it like, you know, like it's not breaking the parents' pockets, man, because it's crazy how much kids pay nowadays. You know what I mean? And when people always tell me like, yeah, I paid this much, I paid that much, I'm like, what? Like, well, I ain't paid nothing, but I get it's the different caliber of players though. You know what I mean? And that's just the world we live in. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's not going to be the same player. Like there's those kids that you got that their parents are, you know, they have a lot of money, and they help the team. They help the team run. They want their kid to be on the team, and you know what I mean. It is what it is.
So you used to play on teams for free. What? You don't want to do that anymore?
That's a good one. He tried to get me. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Well, I mean, I think that's a great point, though, about there's some, like, you don't want to be the guy who's getting borrowing some kid's $500 bat or $400 glove or doing all that. So I think there's some degree of you're going to choose another sport if you're rather than go through that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, all right, like I just said, if it's $1,000 to play travel baseball, okay, well, my parents paid $30, I can play Little League, and I'll be just as happy. You know what I mean? Like, I'll play every Tuesday and Thursday then. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I'm okay with that. You know, even though I would love to go out of town, but my parents just couldn't afford it, so I got Little League here. I'm totally okay with that. But like you said, yeah, it's so much easier to go to a different sport. It's so much easier because, I mean, I know now like basketball or, I mean, well, technically they're all kind of like in the same range now a little bit, you know, because people are traveling and stuff like that, and the cost of travel, hotels and all that. But like when I was coming up, like none of that was even like really a thought. Like, you know, it's like you play rec league or whatever and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was it. But we definitely need to make, you know, sports more accessible and more, you know, affordable to players. And, you know, hopefully we can do something like that. I know I'm working on something. You know, I know a lot of other players are working on stuff like that, but you know, it's just the world we live in nowadays, man.
I don't know how much time you got. I could ask you a million questions too, but I do want, you could just tell us when you're done. Just tell us, because otherwise me and Rob are going to drag you out here. But
It's all good.
I do want to ask a question, because our biggest thing really, I know my role with Rob is to educate youth, travel, high school families on how not to spend $1 billion, how to find college opportunities and things like that. And one of the biggest things is that college recruiting is so localized, and for a lot of reasons, which I understand. You ended up growing up in Vegas, correct?
Yeah.
And then going to St. John's in New York.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I mean, if you're good, they will come. So you don't even have to worry about it. They'll come. And then and it's crazy because I tell a lot of kids, like, they're like, man, I'm not getting recruited or whatever. And we're playing like blah, blah, blah. He's the top in the state. But guess what? When you play that top guy, there's going to be people there recruiting him. You know what I mean? So you make sure you do your best so you can be that person that gets seen. You know what I mean? I remember I played against a guy in AAU. He scored like 30 against us, right? And nobody knew who he was. They were there to see me. They were there to see Caesar, DeAndre Daniels, like all these other guys, Spencer Dinwiddie, like all of us. You know what I mean? So we had a superstar team. It's like at the end of the game, this guy got a scholarship right away from Washington, just because he played some big name people, but he literally balled out. You know what I mean? So what I'm getting at is, you know, if you're playing against guys like that, you got to ball out, because there's always that chance that you're going to get noticed. You know, when they're watching him, you know what I mean? You can always get noticed. And, you know, you never know who's watching, man. You never know who's watching. So that's a big thing as well.
What about personality-wise? Because I think just a lot of kids are afraid to go that far away from home, right? They don't think that something could be a fit. Like, what was it that made you comfortable? Like, what was important about the college experience that to you that was like, yes, it's okay to go this far away from home and do this?
Yeah, it's crazy because a lot of people ask me, like, why did you pick St. John's when I could have picked literally anywhere? My dream school was to go to USC. I had a scholarship from USC, didn't want to go there. You know, UCLA, Kansas, Texas, Louisville, whoever that you could imagine. Like, I had a scholarship to go play basketball too. But, you know, I literally fell in love with the city. I never been that far away from home. So when I went to New York, I'm like, man, this is like on TV, man. Like these big buildings and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the heck? And I'm just like, I was just starstruck. Like, I was just amazed. Like, I went that far away from home, and like, I really loved it. And, you know, like, wasn't the school, wasn't like, you know what I mean? Oh, actually, it was the team, the program too, because we had like 9 freshmen coming in. So the whole team was new. But it wasn't the school, it was the city. Like, the city of New York is what made me commit. Like, just, you know, because I'd never seen that part of the world before. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, like, I got out and like, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely coming here.
So you had these big flashy schools and offers and could have gone there and decided not to do that because that wasn't the most important thing, is what the logo said or the uniform looked like.
I just don't know why. I just don't know why I chose St. John's. Like, just the city, man. Just the city. That was my main reason, was the city. And Coach Lab is a great coach, you know, great recruiter. He's helped me along the way as well, you know, throughout life. And, you know, it was just me getting that bond with somebody. Like, he wasn't just like, I feel like he wasn't blowing smoke, you know, like a lot of other coaches were. Like, you know, you go where, like they say, don't go where you want, go where you're needed. You know what I mean? And I felt like he needed me at St. John's, you know, and even though my career wasn't that good there, you know, I did what I could. I left my stamp as best I could. And, you know, I had a lot of teammates, you know, that went there, and, You know, maybe if it wasn't for me cheering for them on the bench or like giving that extra pass, they wouldn't be where they're at today. So, you know, it was a very fun time for me, man. And I love New York. I still love New York.
Do you still keep up with Coach Lev?
Coach Lav is my guy, man. I'm telling you, I can pick up the phone and call him anytime, and it's like, hey, what up, Coach? And he's like, what up, Amir? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's just a good dude, man. He's a great dude. He's just, you know, you can't fabricate those kind of relationships, man. It's so authentic, and it's like, you know, the first thing he told me when he put me, he said, Amir, he said, I got you, but I don't got you just now. I got you for life, and he's been true to that ever since he said it to me, man. He come out when I played in San Francisco, come out to the game and stuff like that, playing the Giants. You know, he's always showing love.
What do you feel about the three-batter rule? Is there some degree of having to face three hitters that actually can calm you down? Like, you know, you're not in there for one guy, so there's a little less stress that you can kind of undo any damage you did on one hitter.
I mean, for a guy like me, it's better for me because I can get lefties and righties out, you know. I do feel like it did take a lot of jobs away from other guys that were specialists and stuff like that. But, you know, I think it's just going to help us, you know, learn how to get people out from both sides of the plate.
Your value goes up, right?
Yeah, it does go up. It goes way up. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's just gonna help me get better. And like you said, it's like you come in the game, a lefty gets a hit off you. You know you're not coming off the game. You got two more at bat. You know what I'm saying? And those are your runs. You know, say another guy gets on, he's like, all right, well, like I said earlier, at least I got one more guy to get a double play. You know what I'm saying? At least let's get a double play and then you take me out. But you know what I mean? You have a chance to undo any damage that you let up on the bases. So I feel like that's gonna elevate a lot of guys' game.
What's your death row meal? Last supper?
Ooh, I would have to say some fettuccine Alfredo.
Really?
I love Italian food.
But you got to make it like a 3-course meal. So what else is going into that?
Okay, I would do a little Caesar salad.
Oh yeah,
Right.
with bacon or without bacon?
Oh, bacon.
Yeah, bacon on everything.
You like bacon on everything?
You can put bacon on anything.
Ha! I would have to go fettuccine Alfredo main course. You know, I would have the Caesar salad on the side, and I would go with like some cheesecake to top it off.
What's the restaurant you would go to if you had to pick one?
You guys are gonna laugh. My favorite restaurant is Olive Garden.
Nah, you could go. You could do
If
Olive
there's
Garden.
Olive Garden in town, I'm going.
Yeah, you just bring the laptop and literally post up all day long.
They said, Mary, you want a steak? No, I don't want no steak. I want Olive Garden. Really? Olive Garden? Yeah, bro. I want Olive Garden, man. I love Olive Garden. They got the best pasta ever.
Rob, what's your meal?
I think we all just got sponsored by Olive Garden. This is pretty sweet.
Rob, what's your meal? It tells a lot about a person. What's your meal, Rob?
I mean, I'm going. My favorite thing to eat is like a Alaskan king crab legs.
Really?
That would be you. That would be you.
It's pretty freaking awesome, though. I mean,
I love Alaskan king crab legs. Those are fire. Only if they're cut open already, though, because I can't be doing all the crack and then it's like I don't get no meat. And I'm like, man, I'm throwing this one away. I can't do it.
Exactly.
Rob, you got anything else?
Yeah, just one quick question. What's your thoughts on the DH going away? I mean, it doesn't affect you really because you're not hitting very much.
Yeah. I mean, excuse me.
It's a boring ass question, Rob.
No, a lot of the stuff that they're doing, like some of the stuff I don't agree with, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, we're not going to be able to change it. I think that opens up jobs for other players, you know, like guys that are not good in the field, they can get a chance just to hit. You know, if they rake, they can just hit. But, you know, I mean, we've been so used to baseball one way in the National League and stuff like that, but it's just, I don't know. It's going to be different, but we can get through it. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Quick other question. How good can Luis Castillo be?
I'm talking top 2 in the game. I'm talking top 2 in the game. And that's, you know, I really believe that, like, Louis is like a great teammate. He's a great person, but he works hard, man. He works hard. And it's crazy, like, how, like, his journey that he's had in, like, baseball. It's like I think he was with the Giants at one point, and then like they gave him up in the Marlins, and then we got him, and then he started out in Double-A, and it's like he came up, and then he never looked back, bro. And it's just like that's amazing because there was like so many people that gave up on what he is now. Like the people that traded him, the people that like they're probably like kicking themselves in the butt, like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, we gave this guy away, like he's gonna be an ace. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm so excited to get out there and watch him pitch, bro. I'm so excited to get out there and watch him pitch. I can't wait.
Before we go, we started off today talking about how you would be a comedian if you were not an athlete. All right, give us the best joke, the best dry joke you got.
All right. What did 50 Cent do when he was hungry?
What?
58.
Come on, give us another one.
I don't have any more. I can't. You can't tell me to be funny on like cue. Like I'm just funny like naturally. Like,
Kevin Hart could do it. Kevin Hart could do it.
Yeah, but like Kevin Hart, like if he had The Rock with him, like that's the funniest thing ever. You guys ever seen like him and The Rock like encounters? Like that's
I'm a Miami boy. I love him.
Like you can't just tell me to be funny. Like I just gotta. I don't know, man. You just put me on the spot.
Rob, what do you got? You got a dad joke?
I'm not, dude. I got so many, but I ain't doing it, man. I'm not your toy. What?
Yeah,
I'm not here to entertain you.
Come on.
Yeah.
No.
What's a dad joke, Rob?
We don't jump when they jump.
That's right, man. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it.
Thank you very much.
All right, wait, give us one of the locked and loaded Amir. There we go.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I don't even know why I did the locked and loaded when I throw a slider, huh? You gotta do locked and loaded when I throw 100. But it's okay, because we boom.
Love it. And there, thank you, Amir, and hopefully we'll see AG soon enough.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. This was fun, for real.